We are less than 1 week until the big primary. Henry Cuellar, who you're seeing there, going up against primary challenger Jessica Cisneros. And I'm not saying that they're getting desperate, but I am saying that some of the recent advertising targeting Jessica Cisneros certainly seems desperate, and it certainly seems dirty. Take a look at this billboard that's up in Laredo, Texas. It says a lot of things, but one of them is basically that Jessica Cisneros is a home wrecker. A home wrecker. And just to make sure that you saw it, they put it twice on the one billboard, implying that she's gonna do all of these things. She wants to get rid of the police, the firefighters, and the border patrol. She wants to increase crime. I must have missed that advertisement. I didn't see the thing where she advocated for more crime. She wants to raise taxes. Some of that might actually be true, depending on how wealthy you are in Laredo, Texas. And she wants to eliminate oil field jobs. So she's defunding everything, and she's also coming to break up your home. Now, Henry Cuellar said in a statement that he, quote, does not condone the billboard. I'm running an issues-based campaign focused on delivering for the people of South Texas and/or Azerbaijan. So he's focused on the substance there, not on these slanderous attacks. But the interesting thing is, there's actually kind of a link between him and the group that put up this billboard. So
no, really?
I know it's weird. They're not supposed to coordinate, but like sometimes they do. So on that billboard, you could see a line that says it wasn't authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. It was paid for by Big River Media. Now, Big River Media spent over $5,000 back on May 13th in support of Cuellar. Cuellar's campaign has hired this company, Big River Media, in the past. They paid $1,500 for advertising back in 2020, but that was a totally different race where he was running against, Jessica Cisneros. It was the only campaign disbursement to Big River Media listed in federal records as of Wednesday. So it's not just that he has a connection to them, it's that they basically only have connections to him. So the entire thing seems a little bit transparent and a whole lot dirty.
Yeah, so you're gonna see in a second why Big River cares so much about Cuellar and why they're bothering to spend money, in essence, bribing Cuellar. You're gonna be shocked to find out, unless you watch TYT, that you know exactly what's coming. They got a good return on investment. So we'll give you the details on that and how their bribery worked in the past. So that billboard is in essence saying to you, Jessica Cisneros is not corrupt. God damn it. Okay, so understand what it's actually saying. But of course, a lot of people don't know that. They're not knee deep in politics. They just drive by, they see this, and unfortunately it'll work for some people, right? And so that's why they run these kind of dirty ads. First, is Cuellar involved in this? I mean, look, they bothered to say, now this is not coming from a candidate. I guarantee it's because they talked to him and he said, bothered to write it. You don't normally have to write that, right? So they went over the top. Now, if you want to denounce it, it's really not coming from Cuellar. I mean, I ran a political campaign. If something was outrageous was said about my opponent, I didn't want it. I'd say that's crazy. That's not at all true. And I got nothing to do with that. I don't want anything to do with that. And in fact, I denounced it wholeheartedly. In fact, I won't even work with those guys from now on, right? Those are ways where you can go, okay, he really doesn't mean it, right? Here where he's like, golly gee, I don't know what that's about. I suppose I denounced it, isn't it? Means, yeah, you were super happy to have this smear against your opponent. Now, it's always either right wing or honestly, I think corporate candidates do it more than the right wing candidates do. Like corporate Democrats and corporate Republicans smear their opponents more than anyone by an order of magnitude, okay? And so like the right wing candidates will say crazy things about Jewish space lasers and stuff and dark MAGA and all these weirdo things, but they don't, I haven't seen too much of this. Like they'll do weird anti-Semitic stuff, but corporate guys are the ones that are perfect. That they're like smear, lie about someone, run a dirty campaign about their personal life, etc. Oh, they jump right in it, right? And so, but one of my questions is, other than how much money are they making off that river? I mean, we've covered big drug companies, we've covered big money, big food, we cover big sugar all the time in Florida, right? But Big River, I hadn't heard that one before. So Big River's coming after Cisneros. Okay, but my actual main question is, hey, can I start lying about Cuellar? So there's no rules left? Because we have a PAC, Rebellion PAC. Can we put up a billboard saying that Cuellar, same exact thing, Cuellar's a homewrecker for all the men he slept with, and their wives are disconsolate. So can I put that up? I don't know. I mean, I guess PACs are allowed to lie about anything, and they're allowed to smear opponents completely. But I guarantee you, if Rebellion PAC ran that ad, there'd be nothing but like, wow, this is all of a sudden national media would notice.
Right.
Not just Fox News, but like MSNBC. Everybody would catch feelings like, you can't say that about our beloved Cuellar. This absolutely outrageous billboard goes up. I don't know, I haven't seen a thing on it in cable news. I'm shocked we even found one article about it. So, all right.
It's funny on a number of levels. Obviously, I know there's something specific behind it. They're alleging that she like slept with a married man, blah, 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 blah. And I honestly do not care. Sounds like a consensual relationship. If it even was one, it is their personal business. But like the billboard just says homewrecker, and then, which is on its face value without even mentioning details, is basically just sexist. Oh, here's this like floozy of a candidate, happens to be a woman, she's a homewrecker, and then has a defund police, defund ICE. Gee, last time I checked, ICE was tearing apart families, children, ripping them from the arms of their parents and locking them in cages and then not knowing where they are and not returning them. Who is a bigger homewrecker, ICE or whatever they're claiming Jessica Cisneros did? It's super sexist, it's a lie, and also it reminds me of some of the similar tactics actually that were honestly used against Katie Hill, let's be real, which seemed to stem from her ex-husband who had it out for her.
Yeah, but in that case, at least there was, it turned out that she had slept with staffers. Here, I don't even want to talk about anything with it, whether it's might be or not connected to some shred of reality, because it forced you to play defense. That's why, look, if we're gonna do this, then let's get Rebellion PAC a lot more money. This billboard costs about $5,000. We could do that, right? Now that we're out of time because election's on Tuesday. By the way, we're covering it here. You should definitely check that out. It's gonna be a doozy. But yeah, we can do $5,000, $6,000. Our audience could raise that in a couple of minutes to do one homewrecker. How many married men has Henry Cuellar slept with? Maybe the answer is 0, I don't know, but we're just asking the question. Then he'll have to play defense going, no, the number's really low. Oh, okay, right? As long as we're playing dirty politics, okay. Why is it that you can only play dirty politics against progressives? Why is that allowed and nothing else is allowed?
Well, and to be clear, in this case, as Francesca was saying, we are interpreting that is what they're playing into, that New York Post article. But again, it doesn't mention anything about that on the billboard. It is trying to play a game where they would say, well, we just mean that she's like hurting families, so she's a homewrecker. They don't say anything about any infidelity or sleeping around or anything like that, which means that if we can say, well, Henry Cuellar is going to hurt the economics of an average family, he's a homewrecker. Now, it isn't as strong of an attack against him because the reason they're using homewrecker is because of the misogynistic connotation, the indisputable misogynistic connotation. But you can just label with like this incendiary label and just say, oh, it has something to do with policy sort of or something.
Yeah, well look, two can play at that game super easily, right? Like I didn't say that Cuellar had sex with those married men. I just asked how many did he sleep with? I don't know, I'm just asking questions. And I didn't say sex, you said sex. What kind of a dirty mind does Cuellar have? I mean, what did you do with those men? I don't know, I was just asking questions. Look, anybody can play these games. By the way, New York Post is a hatchet media operation that's a right wing run by Murdoch, the same guy who owns Fox News. So it's super easy to put out like a BS story in a right wing publication and then have an ad refer to it and trick people.
But why would the right wing have a dog in the fight of this Democratic primary?
Yeah, that's weird.
Democrat and Democrat, they're the right wing, they're over here on the left.
No, but actually, so that's funny because Cuellar is of course a very conservative Democrat. To Francesca's earlier point, he agrees with ICE in breaking up the families. He agrees with almost everything the Republicans say, but he's posing, in fact, he is anti-choice and he votes that way. He voted to defund Planned Parenthood.
Yes.
It goes on and on. So he's basically a Republican but pretending to be a Democrat to win elections. And by the way, guess who agrees with Rupert Murdoch and these hideous billboard people and all the conservatives that are supporting Cuellar? By the way, he's got tons of Republican money going into his campaign. Nancy Pelosi agrees with them. Nancy Pelosi thinks, bravo, well played. Now, I'm not joking. Look, she didn't sanction the billboard, right? As far as we know. But She's actively supporting and campaigning for Henry Cuellar. She needs another anti-choice vote. She needs another corrupt congressperson. I mean, the guy's under FBI investigation for dealing with Azerbaijani oligarchs. And
yeah, perfect.
Yeah, Pelosi called and said, "You have their number?"
No, and it goes to show also, and this is what I hate, and the bad faith arguments that are always waged against progressives is that whenever we criticize someone like Nancy Pelosi or someone like Kirsten Sinema or all these centrist Dems who've been letting us down, or even a group like Emily's List, right, that needs to do a lot better when it comes to supporting actual working class candidates, and really only is very myopic in who they support. We are always called the sexist. We are always called out. Oh, you're not a real feminist. You're not supporting other women in your party. So it's triple layered, right? It's not just you're not supporting other Democrats. Oh, you don't like unity. It's you're not being a real feminist. You're not actually supporting other people. Well, excuse me, Nancy Pelosi, what do you have to say about this homewrecker billboard that is completely lying about one of the candidates that's in the Democratic race, who happens to be progressive, a young, also Latino woman?
Yeah.
Where are we at with that? You're not hearing any of that. And yet Bernie Sanders raises a hand as he's speaking passionately. Oh, that's sexism against Hillary Clinton. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but by the way, so there's two more components of that, and then we got to get to the money. People, if Rebellion PAC actually did that billboard asking how many men married men to be specific, has Cuellar slept with, I guarantee you, people on the left, people in the middle, certainly mainstream media would say, "Oh, it's homophobic and how dare you?" Well, but this is clearly misogynistic.
I would say that.
Yeah, and nobody gives a damn, right? So wait, what? Again, why did they get to play dirty? And I'm not being homophobic. I don't care how many married men Henry Cuellar slept with. I don't care if the number's 85. That's his personal life. I care that he's a whore for corporate PACs. That matters. That matters in your life. If whatever he does with his own sex life, I don't care if it's the numbers 13 or 87 or 3 married men that he slept with. I don't care at all because I'm not homophobic. Okay,
but he's a sex worker for corporate PACs.
Yes, sorry.
Sex worker for corporate
PACs.
That's
offensive. Sex worker.
No. But I just like saying that. I think that's really funny.
No, I know.
I like how you're incepting Henry Cuellar sleeping with married men, though. I like how that's where this entire segment is going.
Yeah, well, I don't know. People are asking questions. People are putting up billboards. By the way, it's not just billboards. They're also sending text messages, and text messages clearly say that she, quote, "no integrity for knowingly sleeping with a married man." So this is not just implications. This is very, very clear, very dirty, etc. And so I want to read you graphic 5 because here comes the money. In a May 2nd Facebook post, Cuellar announced that he'd help land a $3 million grant for the Mission Economic Development Corporation to aid Killiam's real estate firm, that's the guy who runs Big River, in developing a 175-acre business park in South Texas. The congressman posted pictures of himself at the groundbreaking. He did not post pictures of him in bed with Killiam. Now, politically, they are in bed together. And so you see Cuellar got like a little over 5,000 in this time around. He got the billboard, all the independent spending. Last time around, I think they'd given him $20,000 or $30,000. So overall though, they funneled what, around 50,000 or so to him? He gave them back $3 million, free in a grant. That's legalized bribery. So that's why they're smearing Jessica Cisneros. It has nothing to do with her positions. It has to do with the fact that this guy thinks, oh, Cuellar's my bitch. So I tell him to go do something and he gives me a free $3 million. Well, of course I'm gonna put in $50,000 to get back $3 million because our system is insane. It 100% legalized bribery. And that's why Cuellar was probably surprised to be raided by the FBI. He's like, oh, what, I can't do that with Azerbaijanis? I do that with Americans all the time. Go talk to my friend Killiam. By the way, Killiam, also huge, you're not gonna be surprised by this either if you're a TYT viewer, but if you're a mainstream media reporter, you're like, really? Also a huge supporter of Republicans in Texas, like Greg Abbott and all the obnoxious, awful Republicans in Texas, because he doesn't care who he bribes, whether it's called a Democrat or a Republican. He just cares about the money, Lebowski. So this is obvious. As always, anyone that can see the actual facts will tell you exactly why they're running this billboard. But mainstream media reporters are like, huh? What? Huh? Money in politics? That affects elections? And they do it so they can get more money back? I never heard of it. No, I'm not gonna report on that.
Exactly. Yeah, the same exact reporters who for like a year and a half in the pandemic said that someone getting like a one-time check is enough to stop them from ever wanting to work again, seems to understand that money can influence people, doesn't believe that all of this campaign financing would ever change a distinguished gentleman in the Senate or the House's position on anything. Anyway.
Jessica Cisneros for Congress.com. Before we leave the story, Jessica Cisneros for Congress.com, because she's not taking corporate PAC money. She doesn't sell out to donors or sleep with them like Cuellar does, or potentially. I don't know what sleeping means. Okay, but Jessica's, the reason why they're trying to smear her is because she's honest and clean. Jessica Cisneros for Congress.com. Elections on Tuesday, and my God, if you live down in El Paso or you're in that district, make sure you go vote. It is monumentally important that the bad guys don't win.
Yeah. I just wanted to read her last statement just to make sure that she gets to respond to this. She said, my opponent and his supporters are so desperate to hold on to power that they have resorted to bullying me in hopes that they'll be able to win. I'm here to say that I will not be intimidated. And hopefully they have some good counter advertising in this last week. The race was super close. She lost, or she was down on him in the initial election that led to the runoff by 2.1% of the vote. So it is going to be a very tight vote. Definitely tune in to TYT Tuesday night. Cenk, myself, and Dr. Rashad Ritchie will be doing the primary coverage.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.